Pod in the City is a Sex in the City podcast and thus contains adult themes and explicit content. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, welcome to Pod in the City. I'm Amanda.
And I'm John.
We're two besties who bonded over Sex in the City in college.
And now, 20 years later, we're reliving it like it's our very first time. And just like that, Season 1, Episode 6, Diwali. Carrie's giant leap for her future self helps her embrace the past, while a confession from Miranda shocks Charlotte. Also, Anthony asks Carrie for a favor. And you know what is wild is that mentioned Diwali just about as much as this episode did. Because about halfway through, I was like, wait, is this about Diwali again? Or what's going on here?
And the fact that they had the nerve to name this episode Diwali when there is a very famous Office episode called Diwali, about Diwali.
Oh, that's what you're offended about.
That's the most egregious thing, is that they would dare to even, like, there was no one in the writer's room who has seen arguably one of the greatest shows of all times and was like, oh, actually, there's an Office episode.
Honey, I don't think...
If you're about to say that you don't think The Office is one of the best shows of all time?
I think The Office is great. I cannot imagine writers sitting around being like, you know what? There's an Office episode called The Dinner Party. We can't name ours a dinner party. We can't do it.
Oh, that would be me. That would be the me of the.
How many writers' rooms? Anyway. Hi guys.
Do you think you could be in a writer's room? I feel like that could be. But like, how do you?
Fuck no.
You don't?
I think I could write on my own, but yeah, I think maybe I could have like a partner or something, but I'd really have to vibe with someone well.
Yeah.
Because they would have to get my, like, I'd want to like flow.
Flowing.
Yeah, like, flow back and forth. But trust me, I have many of, like, this is going to sound crazy, but I have plenty of, I can talk to myself for hours.
Oh,
Only child syndrome over here,
But from what I know of the comedy world is that, like, pretty much everyone in our age bracket that's doing that now, like 100% of them started in UCB in like sketch comedy, which like, who would have known when we were in college, like, oh, I should get into the improv Olympics.
I
get
that have a career in because the thing is, when you're an improv person, you are willing to put yourself out there, baby. Yeah. And that's what it really takes. So anyway, hello, everyone. It's Pod in the City. John and Amanda here. We're really happy to see you. If you are watching on our YouTube channel, please hit subscribe if you're not, and hit like. We would also love if you left us a little comment down there because it gets people to be able to see our video. We also have a Patreon, and our Patreon is actually where you're going to be able to find the end, like the 75% of the rest, 75% of the rest of this video, because we're going to have a few little secrets, secrets revealed. But over on our Patreon, you can watch the rest of this video for free. Sign up for our free Patreon, patreon.com/podinthecity. Also, if you want to support us, monetarily, you can give us $6 a month, and we are doing we do episodes of, like, this week we did the girls, we did girls, we do Golden Girls, we do Designing Women, and we do Broad City, and we talk a lot of shit. And I told a story to Amanda that
we had a pretty salacious story. Yesterday was pretty spicy.
I don't know what was in the air yesterday, but I definitely was like spilling tea. So if you're interested,
because we did our live, and the live gets us so kind of antsy because it's live with people. And then immediately we're both like, all right, here we go. I was like, hello everyone, welcome to our Patreon. It's Girls, Season 1, Episode 6. You know what's funny is Justine was like, that was the episode I wanted to be on. I was like, oh, really? That one, The Return? And she's like, yeah, I thought that would be really good because she goes home, like, she lives in Toronto. So she's like, I could relate to like going home. And I was like, oh, well, I just never would have assumed.
I need her on a way spicier episode than that. Come on. Like I need.
Right.
Well, she could have been on this because we got multiple jump scares in this fucking episode that I didn't record them. I did. I recorded one and I was like, I can't.
No, you already knew about the like
Amanda did kind of spoil me a tiny bit. She sent me a clip of this Miranda and Che like thing where Che's
fantasy.
Like, how do I feel? Can I touch you?
It's so funny. She's like, here, blow. Or she's like, here, take my smoke.
It is the most insane. Funny. This episode, they were gaslight. Like there are multiple gaslighting scenes in this episode that drove me to another.
Like you were being gaslit as an audience member?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. They were gaslighting us, Amanda. I swear they were.
What were they gaslighting us into thinking that this was a show of quality?
Gaslighting us into thinking that Che was so fucking dripping in sexuality that every woman's having sex dreams about Che Diaz after her their comedy concert.
Well, John, I know when I have a sex dream, it's usually lit by like an overhead. What a halogen? What are those lights?
Scary fluorescent lighting. Like it is. They couldn't have made it unhotter. Give me a little bit of red light or something. Like replay the like what?
You know what's a hotter sex scene than this? And me and Nick always said that this is one of the least sexy sex scenes ever on TV is in Smash season 1, where Deborah Messing goes to Ripley Greer Studios or like Pearl Studios to meet with what's his face, and she's like wearing like a men's like shirt, and she like takes off her shirt, and there's just something so unsexy about it, and then also it's like all the windows are open, and it's like this place isn't open right now. You can't just like go up there.
And who was she having sex with again?
The Will's, the one that she ended up dating in real life. I think he actually left his wife for her. Right? That guy from Broadway who was like not great in Smash. Will something, right?
Will Swenson, is that his name?
No.
That's a Broadway person.
Well, I'm sure it is. I would love to do an episode with you about Smash, by the way.
I also was feeling gaslit.
Will Chase is his name, by the way.
Oh, okay. I was also feeling gaslit in the scenes about culture, which I know we are two white people, but I was confused.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel, because when Carrie came out in her Diwali outfit, I was like,
oh, that part that part I actually didn't think was bad, because Seema says that, it's not cultural appropriation, it's cultural appreciation, which I was like, wow.
Okay, but then I would argue that there's other things that people would get offended about if you said, oh, I'm
oh, of course, but
if I walked out of my house wearing something that
I might just maybe ditch that thought.
Oh, I wasn't gonna say anything, but what's her name? LTW? Oh. Like if I wore an outfit that she wears all the time, I would look insane. People would be like, why are you wearing that?
Yeah, but that's not like a cultural outfit, do you think?
Kind of.
I think the way that they tied it in with Rock and Lily's issue with the Madame Alexander International Collection
dolls. Is that something you're into? Like, are you aware of these dolls?
One of the Barbie ladies, in case you guys didn't know, if you want to hear about my Barbie journey, go check me out on Open That Doll on TikTok. You can listen to it on our Patreon. I talk about it every week. One of the ladies that I did go and get some Barbies from, she was trying to sell literally 1,000 or more Madame Alexander dolls. Which are these? The reason I know these is because back in like the 90s, they did McDonald's toys here in the Happy Meals that were Madame Alexander dolls. And the ones they originally did were like Wizard of Oz. And I remember having these like Tin Man, Dorothy, Glinda, like, and they were really detailed and stuff like that came in the Happy Meals,
The Happy Meal toys in the 90s used to be like lit.
Amazing.
Like, good quality, too.
Amazing.
Like, remember the Beanie Babe? Like, we had Beanie Babe. You got, like, a little mini Beanie
Do I
Baby?
remember the Beanie Babies?
I
That was my
Moose.
first collection, baby. I had probably 1,000 Beanie Babies
And there were
when I was like a kid.
Fraggles, the Fraggle Rocks,
Yes,
on the rollies.
the
I had, like,
cars, and they were
one
in
was,
like
a
little.
radish or a turnip. Yeah, like, I had, like, 4 or
Uh-huh.
5 of them. I used to play with them in the bathtub all the time.
I had those too.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, McDonald's.
I'll tell you, I sometimes will get a Happy Meal at McDonald's because it's like the little, you can get the 4-piece chicken
And
nuggets.
you're so tiny.
No,
So tiny. No, I'm
I don't. I'm not even trying to imply anything, but like whatever. And the toys nowadays, I swear to God, I got one maybe like a month ago, and the toy was like cardboard.
Oh yeah, they suck. They suck.
Cardboard?
Yeah, they're bad.
That's awful. Now,
come on,
where
McDonald's.
were we? The gaslighting. Now, again, I am okay. First, I will say I'm woke as the day is long. So I'm not sitting here thinking like, oh, this is so annoying to have to listen to it. I'm more curious to know, like, Lily's. Okay, should we just get into the episode and get to that part?
Is there any there's no news, by the way, this week.
No big news drop relating to the show.
No news.
This episode did give me more understanding of why they cut Naya's character, because what? I like multiple times in my notes wrote, what the fuck is happening here? Just because it's like there's a full scene of Naya and her husband and their friends, Fertile Myrtle. Y'all, this episode drove me insane, and it was so boring and bad. Anyway, so if you are listening on our YouTube, now's the time that you want to jump on over to our Patreon. It's free. Patreon.com/podinthecity. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And we're back. If you're checking in on if you're here on our Patreon, or if you're listening, or whatever the fuck, all over the motherfucking place, y'all know what to do. Look at the bottom and you'll see. Anyway, let's get started.